Hello you, welcome to Geekism. Well, after yesterday's video about a promising game developer taking on a video game franchise with a checkered past under the umbrella of a publisher that doesn't have the best track record, today we're doing exactly the same thing, but I'm a little bit more confident about this one. LEGO Skylines has been announced, published by Paradox and developed by Iceflake Studios. If any of those names ring a bell, it's probably because you've heard of Cities Skylines. In fact, Cities Skylines 2 is now being developed by Iceflake, and whilst a lot of people seem quite surprised that they're taking this on as well as Cities Skylines 2, it actually looks like LEGO Skylines was in development for a lot longer before they were even given Skylines 2 to work on from Paradox. I don't really know the ins and outs of how this sort of stuff works, and we'll probably never truly know the full relationship of publisher to developer here. But yes, LEGO Skylines has been in development for 5 years now. It perhaps originally was never going to be a Skylines title. Perhaps that was something that they could work out once they were given City Skylines to develop. Who knows? As far as the game goes, we actually don't really know that much right now. There's this short trailer that you're watching here that does say it's using in-game footage, but feels fairly pre-rendered to me, at least in the style of how it's showing us stuff. And at time of recording, there's an under construction vlog that honestly for episode 1 isn't really that detailed. It's mostly just a fluff piece about how awesome the IP is and how great it is to work on this game. They show off more of a physical LEGO city that is in their studios than they do of the game itself, but I still think there is a lot to be impressed by here. The art style looks fantastic, and it is one of those titles that just makes you think, why has this never happened before? And if you are thinking, why have we never had a LEGO city builder before? All I say to you is this: was LEGO Loco a joke to you? Anyway, we can see some buildings getting put down seemingly piece by piece. Whilst there's no official announcement of it yet, there are sort of vague steppings around the idea that you are going to be able to make these buildings custom, perhaps even seeing implementation from stud.io, which is a digital brick building software where you can digitally create any LEGO model you can think of and export it as various different files. You can even make custom builds guides for stuff as well. Stud.io and Bricklink that it's part of are now actually owned by LEGO, so integration here could happen. Other than that, all we know so far is it's fairly City Builder 101. You're going to place down roads and zones for buildings, water and electricity, amenities and services such as fire departments, schools, parks and donut shops. The art style and character animation is vibrant, and it all has that LEGO shine straight from the off. Whilst I don't know, I imagine it will be a little bit more on the rails and scaled down than something like Cities Skylines itself. I imagine this sits somewhere a little bit more like SimTown or Simsville, even though that never actually made it to release. But the idea of having this bustling city of LEGO bricks with something like Steam Workshop implementation for having custom builds come into it just really excites me. Looking at this big zoomed out image, I will say that it looks a little busy. I think it's kind of hard to actually parse what's going on here, but obviously we're seeing this with no UI and no real concept of what each of the areas actually involves. But yeah, this one's very early days at the moment, but one to keep an eye on if you're a fan of creative building and city builders. I'll be covering more news as it comes available. Thanks for watching. Till the next one, be good.